My name is Rabab Tantawy. I'm a visual artist from Egypt. I've been living and practicing my art in the UAE for the past 22 years. The Guardians were mainly inspired by an exploration of Nubian heritage, of my own Egyptian heritage. They're also an exploration of a human connection between us, between our land, our culture, and where we come from. And also it has a theme of protection. Because even though there is a theme of displacement and a lot of uprooting, there is a feeling of having the guardians protecting our culture, our history, our tradition. The guardians, they are three different figures, and they are intertwined in one another. They, for me, represent unity. They represent resilience. They also represent connection, and connection to the land, connection to our heritage. And they represent, they guarding traditions, they guarding where we come from, they guarding our roots, but they also connected to one another because we also need to protect each other. This is the first time I work on a sculpture piece, and it's very exciting for me. It's also, it's a bit scary as well, because every time you move into a new material, a new medium. For me, I've always been working on paintings, and so this is really the first sculpture work. Working on such a large scale is really, again, very, it's a bit scary. And for me, it was more the challenge of having them feel like they come from the earth. They're humble, showing their humble nature, because everything that goes up to a really large scale, it's really, it has that threat of being, you know, like bigger than life itself. And I didn't want that to appear. I wanted them to keep their grace, but at the same time to feel like they're from the earth. I want them to tower and protect, but I also want people to feel themselves in them, like to see themselves in them. The black sand was really a deliberate choice for this sculpture because it has the origin, like the earth origin. So it's coming from the earth. We are from the earth. And so having first of all, having sand was definitely a deliberate choice, because I felt that this is what will bring it down and basically humble them. So the empty spaces that you see in the sculpture are meant to show like the background, like to where they are. Like you're meant to see the desert through them, being part of it, being part of the landscape. It feels like they're one with the space they're in. They are from it, and yet you can like see through them to where they're from. So the lines in my figures are like, has always been there. Like the lines have always been in my drawings, in my paintings. They are an essential part of my work. And for me, they really represent the connections, the interconnectedness between one another, and between, in this case of the sculpture, it's also between us and the land we're part of and the land that we're protecting. But in this specific sculpture, they also resonate with the lines that the wind creates in the sand. Like when you see, you know, the ridges in the desert, it has also a significance of time passing. It has a significance of change. And that for me is, again, part of what us as humans go through with. There's always going to be change. There's always going to be time that we're fighting against or trying to make it stand still. I would like the visitors of the Tanweer Festival to see the Guardians as a visual call, to reflect on what are we protecting, what are we guarding. Mostly one another, the land, the earth, the sustainability of our life, as well as our community, being with one another, doing things as a community rather as individuals, and reflecting on that, reflecting on what we are guarding.